7, carry the 1.
417, sir.
417.
You should be at Harvard. How come we got him?
Okay, kid, take her away, but easy.
Yes, sir.
Kirk Douglas, Great War Movies. One of the last icons of Hollywood's golden age, became one of the most successful actors in Hollywood history. Douglas served in the US Navy during World War II as a communications officer in anti-submarine warfare. The son of Russian Jewish immigrants, completed college and was studying acting in New York City when he enlisted after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. After the war, his career took off, and he became one of the studio's actors when they were looking for a strong, tough guy. That meant Douglas made several war movies. Today, let's take a look at his war movies. Let's get into it. Paths of Glory, 1957. Douglas stars as French Army Commander Colonel Dax, whose men refuse orders to undertake a suicide attack. Dax later defends his men in a court-martial. The message here is that the French command is corrupt and decadent, and deems its troops to be expendable. The savagery of World War I is on trial here, as in every movie about the era. Douglas is a man of principle, in contrast to the scheming careerists around him, doing his best for the men he honours, and fearlessly faces the reality of the death to come. Spartacus, 1960. Douglas plays a slave who leads a revolt against Rome, remembered for its epic battle scenes. Douglas was one of the first stars to have his own production company. He developed Spartacus after losing the lead role in Ben-Hur to Charlton Heston. Douglas enlisted the blacklisted screenwriter Dalton Trumbo, giving the writer his first screen credit in 15 years, though Trumbo had actually won 2 Oscars during that time with work that was credited to other men acting as his front. This movie is about resistance against an unfair ruler, and was the film that broke the blacklist.
A rebel who sprang from slavery to challenge the awesome might of imperial Rome.
The symbol of the Senate. All the power of Rome.
I imagine a God for slaves.
What do you pray for?
I pray for a son who'll be born free.
Town Without Pity, 1961. A bleak story of the military justice system. After World War II, 4 American servicemen rape a local German girl. Terrifying on its face, equally disturbing is how the movie presents the event as something that just happens during a military occupation. Major Steve Garrett, Douglas, assigned to defend the 4 troops played by Frank Sutton, Robert Blake, Richard Jekyll, and Mal Sondock. Douglas attempts to get the men a term of hard labour rather than the death penalty. Douglas is forced to attack the victim, even as he knows what he's doing is morally despicable, but required in his job as a defence attorney. Gene Pitney's Oscar-nominated title song was a huge hit.
A town without pity.
You want to kill me? Then what are you doing with this? If you really want to kill somebody, then take a gun. Or a knife.
They are animals. Hanging is too good for them.
Did their bodies touch?
First he was half on top of her, and then it was the other way around.
Does it give you pleasure, Fräulein Steinhoff, to expose your body to men?
Nein, ich sag Ihnen doch, das habe ich nicht getan.
The Hook, 1963. Douglas enjoyed playing men that struggled with their conscience. Director George Seaton's Korean war thriller, The Hook, gave him one of his most challenging roles. Sergeant Briscoe, Douglas, serves on a ship who captures the pilot of an enemy plane that's been shot down. Headquarters orders to execute the prisoner. Briscoe and his men delay the order, then realise they have to carry out their orders or face charges themselves. The armistice is signed just in time to stop the execution. The prisoner is released, and you can guess what happens next. If it's not obvious to you, you should watch this one for a surprise at the end.
I didn't hear the plane. Honest to God, I didn't hear it. If I had, I'd take...
Knock it off.
Nobody could have done anything, kid. Nobody. Now hold it! You get near when the next barrel explodes, I'll knock you... Let's go, kid. Come on.
But don't you think we ought to do something?
Like what? Fly past? Blow taps, drop a wreath? You read too many books. There's not enough left of him to fill an ashtray.
Look, I'm sorry. I mean, if I'd
Nobody's
seen the
blaming
plane,
you, kid. Nobody's blaming you. That's yesterday's war. There's nothing you can do about it now, kid, so come on.
Is he dead? Almost. But I got him breathing again.
Very good. Okay, Hack, mark it down. We're going to get him a merit badge. Who told you to save him?
Saw him floating. I had to do something.
Okay, drag him in.
7 Days in May, 1964. Director John Frankenheimer's 7 Days in May is based on a plot to overthrow the president who's close to an arms deal with the Soviet Union in 1974. Douglas plays Marine Corps Colonel Martin Jiggs Casey, a man who sees that the Joint Chiefs of Staff is plotting a coup. Burt Lancaster is Air Force General James Mattoon Scott, chairman of the Joint Chiefs and leader of the cabal. Ava Gardner plays Scott's mistress, and Frederick March is President Jordan Lyman. A thriller, no spoilers here, but you get the idea. It's May 1974, and Jiggs Casey has only a week to save the Republic. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. Head over to my channel if you want to check out my many other videos. The link is in the description. Please like and subscribe to the channel as well.
Who let an Air Force general use her like his personal airplane.
In Harm's Way, 1965. Director Otto Preminger's World War II drama set in Hawaii in the days after Pearl Harbor. John Wayne is Captain Rock Torrey, a Navy man who loses command of his heavy cruiser for ignoring orders that would have prevented his ship from getting torpedoed by a Japanese submarine. Douglas is Wayne's XO, Paul Eddington. His career is on the verge of getting trashed because he's being distracted by his wife, Liz's, mischief with Jody. Wayne has an estranged relationship with his son from his previous marriage, now serving in the Navy, and has an affair with Navy nurse Maggie Haynes, Patricia Neal. Wayne returns to active duty, however, Douglas is given the command of his ship. Douglas's character then rapes Wayne's son's fiancée and tries to redeem himself by commandeering a plane and going on a solo suicide mission. Douglas somehow presents a story that's morally sketchy and ridiculous. Everyone remembers his flaws, but still appreciates his sacrifice. Things work out better for John Wayne, but they usually do.
Morning, Captain.
Good morning, Commander Eddington, and how are you this fine day?
Splendid. Thank you, sir. What's the alert?
The Picket Destroyer Ward dropped some depth charges on what they think is a sub about 15 miles from here, near the Seaboy.
And another poor whale lost its blubber. Sir?
Yes?
Well, we're just looking for subs or planes, too.
Anything, son.
Well, there's a large formation of planes orbiting north of the island, sir. Looks like they got the pilots up early for squadron exercises.
A strange place to rendezvous. Why aren't they over Diamond Head where they belong?
Sir, there's a formation off Diamond Head, too.
I don't like it, Paul. Sound general quarters, making no drill.
Yes, sir.
The Heroes of Telemark, 1965. Director Anthony Mann's World War II drama about the Norwegian resistance to Nazi occupation. The Vermont-Norsk hydro plant was producing the heavy water needed by Germany to complete its ambitions to make an atomic bomb. Douglas plays a Norwegian physics professor who's enlisted into the fight against the Nazis, becoming a leader of the group trying to blow up the plant, based on real-life events. The actual story is more complicated than the movie plot might depict. However, the movie remains a tribute to one of World War II's little-known stories. Cast a Giant Shadow, 1966. Douglas plays Colonel Mickey Marcus, a real-life American World War II veteran who arrives in the new state of Israel to help set up the nation's Israel Defense Force. His men are an assortment of refugees. He's assigned the task of whipping them into shape to defend against expected Arab attacks. Made in the 60s, it's a melodramatic epic. Douglas powers through every resistance and incompetence he faces.
And everywhere he fought, he cast a giant shadow. Courage changed millions of lives. His legend belongs to many flags.
I'm fighting because I'm stiff-necked and proud of it. Next week, Ash. Next week.
For women in combat, love draws its own battle lines.
They wanted to run away, and now you run away just like me, coward! Coward, just like me! Oh.
And Brooklyn didn't get pregnant during the war. Yeah, my mother kept the statistics.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.